We can all agree that 5.4 banners are awesome, and that's because of Furina, but wait! From what I'm seeing, 5.5 banners are even more awesome, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. I can't help but raise my eyebrows at the banner lineup for 5.6 and 5.7. They all include fresh and unexpected sets of characters. Now, other YouTubers make a mistake, and I want to straighten that out real quick. The mistake? They don't really tell you about the 4 stars to expect in each banner. And trust me, the 4 stars are a big part of what should shape your decision. I wouldn't want to pull on a banner where all the 4 stars are C6. That'd be a painful pulling day. I would like to have the sense that even if I don't win the 5-star, then I at least got reasonable 4 stars. You guys should get what I mean. With that said, let's go over what I'll be talking about in this video. Today I'll be informing you about 3 things. Number 1, the expected banner lineup from 5.4 to 5.7, the 4 stars we can expect to accompany them. And lastly, my partner, lootbar.gg. There are tons of amazing characters making their return in the future, and if you haven't managed to get them or are looking forward to snagging their signature weapon, then I'm proud to announce you can save 23% on your next purchase. Lootbar.gg offers some of the most affordable rates for your top-ups out there. For example, I just got this $100 Genesis Crystal Pack for $79 instead of the original $100. That's an easy $21 saved, which you can spend on 4 welkins later and still have money to spare. If you're feeling skeptical, don't worry, because they have so many positive reviews on their site, and I even use them to purchase the welkins for my giveaway winners. They're also trusted by big creators like Dukaja and Tevat Times, and I'm adding to the list, bringing their credibility through the roof. Use my link in the description or pinned comment to grab yourself a quick discount on your next purchase. I'm also proud to announce a 10 welkin moon giveaway at 3K subscribers. We're so close already, so if you want to chill with the community or snag a quick welkin, consider subscribing. It's free and it helps a ton. Alright, let's quickly brush over the 5.4 banners. We're expecting the new Anemo 5-star Mizuki and the Nurse of the Fortress of Meripede Sigwin. In the second phase, we're expecting the Hydro Archon herself, Furina and Ryothisli. Now listen carefully as I list the 4 stars because, after careful studying, I've cracked some basic principles on how Hoyoverse selects them. For the first phase, the 4 stars are Goro, Sayu, and Xiangling. For Furina's banner, we're locked in for Mika and Chongyun. I noticed 2 things. First, 4 stars are selected based on the storyline or event happening in that patch. If there's a Fontaine event in 5.4's second phase, then the featured 4 stars will likely be Fontaine characters. If not, the 4 stars will be randomized, but they'll never share the same element as the featured 5 stars. There are more patterns you'll notice along the way, so tag along. I'll explain as we go so I don't overload you guys. Now for 5.5, this is where things get very interesting. I'm finally making my comeback in 5.5. The leak is from a Chinese source that's spread like wildfire. Plus there's a small teaser on Flying Flame Telegram that says, "Long time no see." Sounds like something I'd say when making a comeback. Alongside me, we're expecting Venti. Venti is guaranteed to rerun in 5.5. It's a cycle Hoyoverse wouldn't willingly break. The 3rd slot will be occupied by the confirmed 5-star Vareesa, and the 4th slot, most likely an Inazuman character. It's been ages since Kokomi made a return. And since this patch contains mainly DPS characters, adding a strong healer like Kokomi makes total sense. Fresh information just got to me as I was editing this video, and it seems to be about Vareesa. This is a very exciting and valuable piece of info for us, so I thought I'd just add it in the editing process. Anyways, what are the new things we know? Vareesa's weapon type has been revealed, and to our surprise, she's going to be a Catalyst user. We also have information about the Catalyst in question. The Catalyst exposes a lot about Vareesa, especially the fact that Vareesa will be a DPS character, and also will be linked to plunging in some way, meaning that having her with xianyun in 5.5 makes total sense. Let's take a moment and go over her weapon. As you already know, it's going to be a Catalyst weapon and has a base attack of 674, crit damage substat of 44.1%, which is already making it a great overall weapon for other Catalyst users. But wait, Hoyoverse isn't done yet. The Catalyst introduces a new effect called the Rainbow's Wish. What it does is it increases attack by 28% when using a plunging attack. But Hoyoverse didn't stop there. It also included 2 other effects, one being the first light color effect, which increases the critical damage of plunging attack by 28%. Also, upon casting an elemental skill or burst, it grants the Evening Glow's Radiance effect, which increases crit damage by a whooping 40%. Both effects last for up to 15 seconds and are removed 0.05 seconds after the plunging attack damage is dealt. So, what are the details we can extract from this? First of all, it shows that Vareesa is a strong DPS who deals damage mainly by plunging once, so don't expect that damage to be small numbers, expect bazooka numbers. And also, it seems like this catalyst weapon would be a must-have weapon if you really want to enjoy what Vareesa has to offer. That's not all the info we have about Vareesa, as there's more I have in store, but that's for another video. Anyways, back to the banners. Since there's no major quest in 5.5 that could shake up the banners, it's safe to lock it in. But remember, take this with a grain of salt. I'm not a Hoyoverse employee, I just analyzed the info we have. Moving on to the 4 stars. 2 characters are guaranteed Xianyun and Dahlia. Xianyun's presence puts her on Vareesa's banner, while Dahlia, being from Mondstadt, will go under Venti's. This also tells us that Venti and Vareesa won't be in the same phase because of the 4-star lineup. I know you guys are disappointed by Xianyun rarity, but sadly it's been confirmed that she will in fact be a 4-star. Regardless, she is going to have great buffing abilities, and to the uninformed, she will be an electro polearm user. This is confirmed because we have Archon quest footage backing it up. Either way, she's definitely going to live up to expectations. So, for the first phase of 5.5, we can expect Vareesa and xianyun, with Xianyun, Sucrose, and Xingqiu as the 4 stars. For the second phase, Venti and Kokomi, with Dahlia, Barbara, and Farazan. Dahlia has had his design leaked since early June 2023. He has 2 distinctly colored eyes, and his release in 5.5 hints that we will be having an event that would take us all the way back to 5.5. It's also what contributed to me adding Barbara, because you can't speak Mondstadts without thinking of Barbara. Now, let's cover 5.6. 5.6 is the midpoint of the Natlan patch, and it gets even more interesting. We're expecting a new character banner, most likely Effie, the chef girl we saw with a knife and trident-like tail. She's from Fontaine, and I believe she has to be a pyro user. I mean, think about it. Would a chef ever use hydro? That'd be a hilarious joke if Hoyoverse made her anything but pyro. The second 5-star we expect here is Emily. It's been 8 patches since 4.8, so it makes sense for Hoyoverse to finally release her. As for the other 2 slots, we can expect powerful Natlan characters brawling for that spot. They are Kinich, Mulani, and Zilonen. As for the 4 stars, we have Aoife, if he's a 4-star of course, would be under Effie's banner. But if he's a 5-star, then we can expect him to take his place and replace Sino in 5.7. For the last 2, we have Layla and Toma in Phase 1. These are calculated based on their last appearances. Lastly, we have Bennett, Kachina, and Diona are expected in Phase 2. Finally, 5.7. Mavuika and Skirk will take the spotlight. We're not sure if they'll be in the same phase, but since they don't share the same element, there's no issue with them being together. In Phase 2, we expect Zilonen and an Inazuman character, most likely Sino. For the 4 stars, Sethos, Auroran, and Lanyan for Phase 1, Candace, Ningguang, and Gammon for Phase 2. Here's the deal. When Hoyoverse knows the 5 stars are irresistible, they push out bad 4 stars because they know we'll pull regardless. It's all business strategy. With that said, 5.7 feels like the dead end of the Natlan patch, meaning we might jump straight to 6.0. Think about it. Hoyoverse has done this in other games like Honkai Star Rail. Plus, Skirk's release signals that the Natlan Archon quest is wrapping up. And that means we might finally see Nodcry and the long-awaited return of Capitano. Either way, he's playable, that's a fact. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you think my 4-star method makes sense, or it's just making things too complicated, let me know in the comments. Good luck on your wishing, and bye.